Number 10, which equation represents the line that passes through 0, 2 and 3, 1? So when we're given 2 points on a line, the best form to start with is point slope form. And we're going to remember that point slope form looks like y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. All I need to do is substitute values in for y1 and x1 and my slope of m. I know that right from the name of the form. I need a point in x1, y1 form, and I need a slope of m. Looking at my question, they give me 2 points that I can use, so I'm all set with a point, but I need to find a slope. So a little side work is in order here. I know that if I have 2 points, I can find slope using the slope formula, which is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now if I substitute in the values that I'm given for those 2 points, y2 would be 1 minus y1, which is 2, over x2, which is 3, minus x1, which is 0. And if I do my math, 1 minus 2 is negative 1. 3 minus 0 is 3. I cannot simplify or reduce that in any way, so my slope for this line should be negative 1/3. Now, if I come back to my point slope form, I should be able to plug in values and write my equation. So for x1 and y1, it should not matter which point I choose. I can choose 0, 2, or I can choose 3, 1. I'm going to choose 0, 2 just to show you what happens when we have a 0 that we plug in. So let's call 0 my x1, and let's call 2 my y1. Okay? Now let's go ahead and plug all these things in to point slope form. I would have y minus y1, which is 2, equals m. So my slope is negative 1/3 times x minus x1, which is 0. So I now have my equation in point slope form, but looking at all of my choices, A, B, C, D, and E, these are all in slope-intercept form, or y equals mx plus b. So I need to convert point slope form into slope-intercept form. Now if I look carefully here, that means I need to distribute my slope of negative 1/3 into these parentheses. Well, negative 1/3 times x, that's just negative 1/3 x. Negative 1/3 times negative 0, well, this 0 here almost doesn't matter, right? But I'll just write it on the end here. Let's see, a negative times a negative would be a positive. Anything times 0 is 0, so I'll just put that 0 on the end. Let's see what happens. I still have y minus 2. I need to bring that negative 2 to the other side. So to do that, I'm going to add 2. And I'll just add 2 over here to this 0. And now I should see that my final answer should look like y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2. Now I have my equation in slope-intercept form, and if I come over to my choices, that looks like it matches up with choice E, y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2. So let's look at some things to be careful of. Choice A looks like they have their slope and y-intercept flipped around. So be careful not to do that. That's incorrect. Choice B, they have the slope of negative 1/3 is correct, but their y-intercept looks like it's missing, which would mean they have a y-intercept of 0. They might have stopped in point slope form when they saw that 0 on the end, and they might have thought, oh, zeros, I can just get rid of those. But when we bring that -2 over to the other side, we end up with a +2 for our y-intercept, so that's why B is incorrect. Choice C, they have the correct y-intercept, but their slope of -3, it looks like they just have their slope flipped. Should be -1/3, not -3/1. In choice D, it looks like they have almost the correct slope and y-intercept, but the signs are incorrect for both of them. So that's just a reminder to always be careful of positive and negative signs. So again, choice